Letting Sarah Ferguson go may not work in King Charles' favor. Expert. King Charles might not take the risk of letting go of Sarah Ferguson. Recently, there have been reports of the former Duke and Duchess of York demanding 2 homes each for their accommodation. Prince Andrew has demanded Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's former house, Frogmore Cottage. Meanwhile, his ex-wife has set her eyes on Prince William and Kate Middleton's current residence, Adelaide Cottage. However, as per an expert, the king might not let go of Ferguson for his own good. King Charles would be prudent to keep Sarah Ferguson in the picture, says expert. According to the Daily Mail's royal editor, Sarah Ferguson, King Charles might act sensibly to let Sarah Ferguson stay. As mentioned above, Prince Andrew and his former wife have kept their demands before the king. However, sources close to the duo have been angry, calling the offer misrepresentative of the truth, and it has been on the table for months. They stated, "It was an option put forward by the other side and at an early stage in negotiations. Whether it is still on the table, I don't know." However, the suggestion that they have been demanding a new home each is misrepresentative of the truth. They continued, "No demands have been made. People have been trying to come up with solutions." Moreover, Buckingham Palace has refused to comment on these claims, but insiders stated they do not recognize this version of events. For the unaware, Andrew and Ferguson have been staying in Royal Lodge for decades despite the separation. However, the king wanted his brother to vacate the property as he had allegedly not paid the rent for years. Now, the former Duke and Duchess of York have apparently agreed to live separately, though in houses a few miles away from each other. As such, there has been discussion among the royal circles on how the king doesn't owe a legal responsibility to Ferguson, who had been staying in the Royal Lodge for years. However, others feel that Charles might think it's prudent to keep Ferguson in the fold to avoid her publishing another scandalous book. The monarch has treated her kindly in recent years. A source also said the king's former sister-in-law has nowhere to go and no one to go with if Andrew loses Royal Lodge. Her future is hanging in the balance. Another source explained, "The king is a kind man, but his patience has been pushed to the limit. Nevertheless, the last thing he also wants is another spare."